The size of this city I do not write here because it cannot all be seen from any one spot. But I climbed a hill whence I could see a great part of it. I could not see it all because it lies between several ranges of hills. What I saw from thence seemed to me as large as Rome and very beautiful to the sight. This was the description of Domingo Pius, a Portuguese traveller who visited Vijayanagara Empire in 1520. Referred as the Kingdom of Visnagar by the Portuguese, Vijayanagara was a South Indian empire based in the Deccan Plateau. Established in 1336 by Harihara I and Bukkaraya I, it lasted until 1646, although its power declined after a major military defeat in 1565 by the Deccan Scythians. The empire is named after its capital city, Vijayanagara, whose impressive ruins surround modern Hampi, now a World Heritage Site in Karnataka, India. In its days of glory, the empire extended from the Tungabhadra river to the extreme south. The Tungabhadra river, which flows in a northeasterly direction, forms a natural basin for Vijayanagara and was an important trade route.
Hampi is a city of ruins, a sprawling memorial to an era of tragedies and triumph, to an age of unprecedented political turmoil, and a surging will for survival amidst threats to freedom and honor. Today, Hampi is an eerie landscape in which you see rocks piled upon rocks in fantastic alignments. Amidst these rocks, history sprouted and blossomed through many interludes of war and peace.
Now, let us take you all on a journey through Hampi, beginning with the famous Virupaksha temple. The most ancient of the major temples of Hampi and the most venerated is the Virupaksha temple. Also known as Pampapati temple, it is the only one still under worship. The main temple is dedicated to Lord Virupaksha, an incarnation of Lord Shiva.
This is the Kalyana Mandapa in the Virupaksha temple where our ancestor Krishnadevaraya of the Thiruva dynasty married Chinna Devi, his first queen consort. Notice the ceilings painted with natural colors. The beautiful illustrations were painted by viewing the reflection of the roof on water so as to avoid the paint falling into the eyes of the painter. The blue sanctorium depicts the marriage of Lord Shiva and Parvati. To the right is the sculpture of sleeping Ranganatha, to the left is Durga, and opposite it is the family of Lord Shiva and Parvati.
We see a sculpture of Krishnadevaraya with his two wives, and next to him is a sculpture of sage Vidyaranya, who was the inspirational source for the foundation of this Hindu empire.
Though the core of the temple belongs to the pre-Vijayanagara period, additions to the structure were made by successive kings. It was first built by the Chalukyas in the 16th century, followed by the Hoysalas, and Harihara and Bukka built their first temple here in the 14th century, with the front hall and gopuram added by Krishnadevaraya in the 16th century. The bells were used during the daily prayers and is believed to ring in the tune of Om Namah Shivaya.
Krishnadevaraya, the greatest ruler of the empire, was a great warrior who made extensive conquests and expanded the empire. He consolidated it with benevolent administrative measures. Many temples, gopurams, and other structures were built under his commission.
This temple has 3 towers. To the north is the tower of Kanakagiri. The main tower is 165 feet high and has 11 stories. It is called the Bistaparaya Tower, built in the 14th century. The second one, the Raya Gopuram, is built by Krishnadevaraya at the time of his coronation on 8th August 1509. A characteristic feature of these towers is that they are decorated in clusters of miniature pilasters.
Now, let me show you all the first temple of Harihara built underground in the 14th century. The temple is 700 years old. The shrine of this temple contains idols of both Hari, Vishnu, and Hara, Shiva, representing the name of Vijayanagara's establisher, Harihara.
On the back side of the temple is a dark chamber. The light that comes through the hole on the eastern wall falls on the western wall, and the shadow of the main tower appears upside down.
Leading out of the northern gateway is a tank which received water from the Tungabhadra river. The entire path leading to the Tungabhadra river is dotted with several shrines. There are rooms for pilgrims in the premises. Here you can clearly see the Vistaparaya Tower, the Raya Gopuram and the Kanakagiri. On the right side is the Kalyana Mandapa for the common people along with a well nearby.
Now, let's show you all the Royal Centre. The Royal Enclosure, the nucleus of the capital city of Vijayanagara, is the largest extant enclosure in the ancient city, occupying an area of 59,000 square meters. The enclosure housed as many as 43 buildings that were multi-pillared and possibly multi-domed. The enclosure has 3 entrances, 2 on the north and 1 on the west.
Among the ruins is the multi-storied throne platform, also known as the Mahanavami Dibba, a platform which supported a superstructure where the famous Dasara or 9-day festival was celebrated. The lower tier of the Mahanavami Dibba has sculptural friezes depicting the socio-cultural activities of the time.
An impressive structure, the stepped tank Pushkarani, was used by the king for ritual baths on special occasions like birthdays, coronations and festivals.
These are the remains of the Bhojana Sala or the dining house. The plates and cups used for meals are replicated in granite. Evidently used by palace guards, these interesting remains of the dining house are an exercise in economy.
Here, we have a glimpse of the King's Audience Hall.
Another well-preserved beautiful structure is the Lotus Mahal. It consists of 2 pavilions built on a symmetrical plan and surmounted by 5 towers. It has a blend of elements from Hindu as well as Islamic styles. It may have been a council chamber where the king met his advisors or a rest house for his queen.
The Queen's Bath, a squarish building built of mortar, is an unpretentious structure when viewed from the outside. Inside is a small tank meant for bathing and swimming by the ladies of the harem. Around the tank runs an arched corridor with projecting balconies overlooking the 8 feet deep pool.
The elephant stables, meant for royal elephants, has 11 square chambers in a line, a few of them interlinked through small doors. They are all domed differently and built of stone and mortar.
Immediately close to the royal enclosure is the double-shrined Hazara Rama or Ramachandra temple, built like others exclusively of granite. Its proximity to the palace suggests that it was a private place of worship for the royalty. Built inside is the dance platform surrounded by pillars which are heavily carved with images enclosed in miniature shrines. However, the images of the main Garbhagriha are missing. This spectacular temple was built by Krishnadevaraya. Among its characteristic features are the beautiful bas reliefs on its outer walls depicting episodes from the Ramayana and Mahabharata and running friezes of elephants, horses, soldiers, dancing girls, etc. This gateway in the temple overlooks the royal enclosure.
take you to the famous Vithala temple, the most extravagant architectural showpiece of Hampi. The temple is built in the form of a sprawling campus with compound walls and gateway towers. There are many halls, pavilions and temples located inside this campus. The principal deity here is Lord Vithala, a form of Vishnu. The temple has 4 distinct compartments, namely the Mahamandapa, Navaranga, Garbhagriha and Kalyana Mandapa. The Panchpita of the temple is seen at its entrance, beginning with the Tulsi Katte. Moving on to the Deepastamba, the Naivedya Stambha, Gajastambha and the Rathapita. The Rathapita, well known as the stone chariot, is one of the only 3 such chariots in India, one in Mahabalipuram, Tamil Nadu, Sun Temple, Konark, Odisha, and here at Vithala Temple, Karnataka. Originally, the chariot was built with horses at the front of it. However, the horses were destroyed during the Sultanate attack and hence the government has now placed 2 elephants as a showpiece. Its base and principal story are carved out of a single block of granite with mobile wheels and brakes. However, now the government has it plastered and the wheels no longer rotate. The chariot was once surmounted by a well-proportioned tower of brick masonry, giving it the look of a temple on wheels. There is a stone ladder placed in front of the stone chariot leading to its shrine, which houses Garuda, the vehicle of Lord Vishnu, clearly depicted with its wings on its shoulders.
The Mahamandapa was built as a dancing platform for Krishnadevaraya's wife Chinnadevi. This pillar depicts a person playing drums. It is said that on tapping this pillar, the sound of mridangam is produced. It has 3 galleries: Krishna Gallery, Dancing Gallery and Narsiya Gallery. A cotton parda was generally hung around the temple from the rings built on the roof edges. The big pillars help in circulation of air and sound was produced for the dancing by tapping the small pillars with sandalwood sticks.
Now we take you through some of the many fascinating art pieces of the temple. This has 4 parts. First, it looks like Shiva's head Shankar Mahadev. Second, a decoration known as Prabhavali. Third, the face of Lord Narasimha. And fourth, the fighting position of 2 lions. When it rained, the water passed through here and fell as drops, looking like a waterfall. This was used to keep bangles. Certain sculptures here depict Dandiya from Gujarat. The Mahamandapa has several intricately carved pillars with no 2 pillars having the same design. In another engraving, this can be viewed as a bull or as an elephant. As a bull, you can see the mouth, nose, eyes, horn, tail and legs, thus clearly depicting in one head 2 different animals. In another is Ganapati with his trunk, head, 2 ears, which also looks like an elephant pulling a tree. This is a 6-in-1 sculpture. First, it looks like a jumping frog. Second, a mother monkey feeding her child. Clearly, her leg, tail and body is depicted. Third is a cobra head over a Shivalinga. Next is a big monkey holding the hands of a smaller one and pulling it up. Fifth shows Lord Hanuman jumping. You can see his 2 legs, tail, body and head. Sixth is a snake Sheshanaga moving. The temple has many more such fine intricate carvings.
Every temple before its construction had a model which was used as a blueprint. Here we show you the model of the Mahamandapa. The foundation of the building, the bangle holder and the holes for free flow of rainwater is shown in detail in the model as well. the base and sound pillars. Above is the roof, shikhar and gold kalash. The roof is made of stone, shikhar out of a lighter material brick and kalash made out of gold. The brick portion was destroyed by the Deccan Sultans, including most of the stone sculptures.
Vyali, known as Vyala in Sanskrit and Leogryph in English, is a motif in Indian art and is widely used in many South Indian temples. It is a combination of 7 different animals having ears of a rabbit, eyes of a dragon, mouth of a crocodile, trunk of an elephant, neck of a lion, body of a horse and the legs of a tiger. This mythical creature was believed to be very powerful, with the king possessing all these qualities.
In the Kalyana Mandapa, each pillar depicts a different story. Here, in this pillar, the right half of the figure shows Lord Balaji, while the left half shows Lord Vithala. Now, going back to our ancestor, the most feared and perfect king, a great ruler and a man of much justice, King Krishnadevaraya. Here he is seen riding a horse with his usual attire of a long coat and headgear, along with a sword in hand. Vijayanagara was a secular kingdom with people belonging to different faiths. The pillars in the Kalyana Mandapa bring out this feature of the empire by depicting the riding of Yali by Hindu, Muslim and Jaina soldiers belonging to Krishnadevaraya's army. The ceiling in the mandapa has impressive carvings painted with natural colors with shades of green and red still visible on some engravings.
This is the Bhajana Mandapa with clearly defined platforms and was used during festivals and special occasions. The uppermost platform was meant for the performers, the lower one for the elite, with the lowermost one for the commoners and poor people. The pillars in this mandapa are intricately carved and produce rhythms on tapping them. Let us now listen to one such sound pillar.
The script outside the temple wall mentions Krishnadevaraya's mother's name, Nagalaji Devi, himself Sri Krishnadevarayalu, his 2 wives, Chinna Devi and Tirumala Devi. All temples of the Vijayanagara Empire have such inscriptions mentioning who it was commissioned by.
In the main shrine too, there were many interesting carvings. Some included that of an elephant being ridden by a female mahout, a lady fighting with a lion, and so on. The main shrine is constructed in accordance with the Indian Vasta Shastra and had the Panchapita. Guarding the entrance to the main shrine of Lord Vithala are the Dwarpals, the sculptures of whom have been completely destroyed by the Sultans. This is the Garbhagruha where the main idol was kept, under which is an underground Pradakshina area meant exclusively for the royal family.
This was the seat where the royal members rested. Outside are 2 pillars depicting episodes from the Ramayana, such as Kumbhakarna being woken up for the war, Ravana's son Meghanada shooting an arrow at Lakshmana, Hanuman carrying the Sanjeevani mountain to help Lakshmana, Hanuman taking Rama's ring from him and later handing it over to Sita in Lanka, Vali's death by Rama and a carving of Sugriva with his wife Ruma, the monkey soldiers Vanaras, the edges of the temple roof were constructed in the pagoda style.
Towards the southeastern part of the temple complex is the temple of Lakshmi, Lord Vitthala's consort. This temple has 3 gateways, the northern gateway for commoner, south for the royal family and the eastern gateway from where all the visitors to the temple exited. Adjacent to the eastern gateway is the guest house for pilgrims. The lower tier of the Mahamandapa depicts the trading activities of the empire. In this frieze, you can see traders with their horses for sale, and at the end is King Krishnadevaraya inspecting and purchasing horses. The empire traded with Arabians, Portuguese, Persians, Italians, and exchanged goods such as gold, diamonds, ruby, and other precious stones, cloth, and horses. Before trading horses, soldiers would test them and check their teeth, legs, tail, body, etc. and based on these inspections, the best horse was purchased. The front of the temple complex is a chariot street that extends from the temple's gopuram in a straight line. These streets are lined with pillared pavilions on both sides where merchants set up their shops.
Never perhaps in the history of the world has such havoc been wrought, and wrought suddenly, on so splendid a city, teeming with a wealthy and industrious population, in the full plenitude of prosperity one day, and on the next, seized, pillaged, and reduced to ruins amid scenes of savage massacre and horrors beguiling description. This was quoted by Robert Sewell in his book A Forgotten Empire. The Vijayanagara Empire became weak after the death of Krishnadevaraya in 1529. Before the reign of the Aravidu dynasty, the fourth and final dynasty, the neighbouring Deccan sultanates formed an alliance and defeated the Vijayanagara Empire in 1565 in the Battle of Talikota. The city of Vijayanagara was then sacked, ruined and abandoned, never to be inhabited again.